Link. Edit. Open a new window. Update. Hi guys, everybody logging in. Just let me know if the sound is good. Double checking that the page is working properly. Got a little bit different microphone setup today, so hopefully I am making some sense. Turn that one up, turn that one down. Let me know how the stream is sounding. Double checking that everything is up the way it's supposed to be. That looks legit. God, I'm such a numbskull. Let's see. Hey, Vicky. You're early. I know. What the heck, Vicky? Get your life together so you can be here for every single second of every single word that I have to say. It's absolute poetry. Hey, Christine. Hey, Linda. Let me know if the sound is coming through okay. As usual, I'm dealing with technical issues. I'm looking extra fat today, so hey Ed, nice to see you, man. Somebody let me know if the sound is good. Sound is good, Linda, thank you. Let's see, how's the video look? Too bright on this side of my face. I don't know how to fix that. I guess I'm just going to be bright today. Let's see. I'll scoot this up just a little bit. I feel like I'm far away from you guys. Let's see. Sound is good. Hey, Danny. Yay, Vicky. Oh, Vicky, by the way, we start at 4:32 every day. So, maybe just put it in your calendar. All right. Let's see. Sound is good at your house. Well, it's ukulele, so sound is, let's see. We can do it. Sounds good. Extra fat. I am, right? It turns out when you're stuck in a house, you tend to do this, right? Half bright. I'm half bright on this side, and we've tried putting some stuff in the window here to make it where I'm more. I watched all these YouTube videos, and they said just use your window, and the window just blasted. I think it's something to do with this video camera. I spent the least amount possible on it, and I got to turn off my phone. My gosh, like I'm some kind of a crazy person. And then I'm gonna need a tuner because it's been really snowy here today, and so the humidity and the temperature and all this stuff is all crazy. So let's see who else logging in. Sounds good. Let's see. Hey, Minette, and welcome. Glad you're here today. Christine, the sound is perfect. Vicky and I are both in Bozeman. She is our mighty leader. When I met Vicky, I thought she seemed like the leader type. She seemed like somebody who would, be in charge of something like this. And, the only way to be a leader is to find a follower. And Christine, I guess you're it, right? So years ago when I was working at Starbucks, we had these weekly meetings, and they were designed to be motivational. Mostly it gave you an opportunity to finish your labor reports. And we had this video one time, I remember, where they had this crazy person dancing, and then one person finally came over, and then a whole crowd of people came over, and the discussion was, it's not really the leader, and it's not really the crowd that follows, it's the second guy that matters, because until you're a lead, and you can lead all you want, but until you get your first follower, you're just a crazy person. And then once you get a first follower, then you can get more followers, but it's the first follower that matters. And so, Christine, maybe that's you today. So hopefully, or every day, right? The cloud our sun just went behind a cloud. We're getting a little bit more snow, and all of a sudden I'm less bright. Anyway, hi Renee, how are you? Barbara, happy Thursday to you. Gary, Osborne, and Marie are here. Where have you been, Gary? Come on, what are you two up to, you and Marie? Glad to see you. Jane, new from Salida. What's going on in Salida? I love that place. You guys are doing great stuff down there. Keep showing up. Uh, yeah, Arlo, yesterday, I don't know what happened. I gave the full entire lesson. I was just absolutely brilliant. And then I found out that somehow the connection had dropped. And apparently I wasn't as brilliant as I thought. Actually, I'm exactly as brilliant as I thought when there's no actual broadcast going on. So, uh, sorry about that. We'll run through it again today. Jackie, welcome. Mike, how you doing? Deborah, logging in. Good to see you, Lindy. Linda, we got a lot of Lindas. Laurel is just singing Christmas songs early. Hey, Red, come on in. Jerry and Snowy Arvada. You know, it started snowing. It stopped snowing for a couple hours here, and now it's snowing again. So, yeah, I think it's supposed to wrap up here in a little bit. Dwayne, welcome. Love the fact you're logging in from Minneapolis. I just think that I don't know. In my mind, that is like you got to be brave to live in Minneapolis. And I was there years and years. Well, when I was in high school, actually, we went up there. A friend of ours was attending St. Olaf College, and so we went up and we got to spend a little time down in the downtown area and those walkways between the buildings. Super cool. Barbara, welcome. Glad you're here. We have a oh yeah, a lot of the youth groups are doing Zoom, and I did check it out from an instrumental standpoint, whether that would make any sense for us. And I think that the Zoom groups work great if you're singing and strumming and everybody has their microphone turned off and all that. But it turned out from an instrumental standpoint, where just the timing is just a little too tight, and so the Zoom stuff did not work for us. I tried it with a small group of ukulele players here in Denver, and we worked on it for half an hour and just realized, it's just not quite the right thing. I do think that those Zoom things are great. I did a couple of private lessons today over Zoom, and they worked just fine. But when you get a large group and you're all trying to do instrumental, there's just enough weird lag and sound lag where it just wasn't working. So I went with YouTube, and I'm busy just chatting at my computer screen, and hopefully it's meaning something to you guys out there. So yeah, but keep those groups up, man. These youth groups are super important to us right now. Mel, Vancouver, British Columbia. The sky's been cloudy all day. Mel, don't complain. You live in Vancouver, British Columbia. It could be on fire, and it would be one of the greatest places in the world. So we're not listening to you. Hey, Violet, good to see you again. Glad you're here. Chicago is another place that's awesome. Well, I was only in Chicago once, and it was freezing, and I probably will never go back because of that. But anyway, Chris is in from Lakewood. Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Lorraine. Good to see you. Bruce is logging in from Arizona. Greg up in Bailey, right? Yeah, it's always snowing in Bailey. Let's see. Susan, Black in again. Looking forward to Carlos Waping. Right? Is that what we're working on today? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, we're doing Girl from Ipanema today. So, and we'll do Key of G first. Let's see who else is logging in here. Fran, good to see you. California, right? 75 degrees. Every day is perfect in California except for the earthquakes, the fires, and the floods. So yeah, glad you're here. My wife just said, "Stop it, Gary." I think I'm hilarious. She is 33 years into not thinking I'm hilarious at all, so she's probably right. Um, I need a romper room mirror. I put this here and be real skinny down here and real fat up here or something. I'm a fat head and a fat belly these days. I gotta stop putting so much stuff in me. Um, uh, Oh, Ed, you're still sneaking around buying instruments. Don't do that anymore. Hey, Annie, good to see you. Kathy, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see. Kathy, you changed your login. That's exciting. It's a real name now. That's very exciting. Hey, Kat, glad you're here today. Patty, logging in. Caitlin from Conifer. Caitlin sent me a photo. I may have to send it out to you guys. It's her sitting at her kitchen table playing ukulele with me on her laptop, which is iffy at choice, and her new baby sitting next to her. Super cute photo. Thanks for that, Caitlin. I'm going to write you back and get permission to put it up on the website. It's just for a little while, right? Just prove that we're legit. Leslie, welcome. Fran, summer's 100 degrees, right? Let's see. All right, Dora, friend from New York. That's exciting. I didn't know you're from New York, Dora. Glad you're here. Well, guys, why don't we get started? Hi, Joyce. Welcome. Let's get started. Got lots of folks in here. We have, this is the end of the learning week, right? This is all week long. If you're a newer player, we've been playing in the key of G major. Getting used to the G chord. Oh, wait, I got to do this. Now I know where to cut it off. All right. All this week, we've been working in the key of G major. For those of you who are newer players or are coming in, we get lots of ukulele players in who are used to doing chords and singing, and I am such a horrid singer, trying to get better. Not really, but pretending to try to get better. That way of playing ukulele is absolutely one of the important things that you need to know how to do as a ukulele player. We want to be able to go to all these ukulele strum along groups all around the country. That's what they do. You get together, grab some sheet music off the internet, which is just your chords and your lyrics. Sing the song, a bunch of songs from Appalachia about, banjos and stuff. Perfectly fine. What we're trying to do is then let people know, hey, there is a different way to play. It's a good way to play. It's a better, don't tell anybody, it's a better way to play. And it's going to allow you to, the problem with playing with chords and strumming is that at some point, if you're not a singer, you're going to get stuck. You're going to just be like, chords. Oh, I did those chords. I already did. We've done a lot of those chords. Getting sick of those chords. I'm going to go check out bagpipes. That's how the progression works. If you are a singer, gosh, you're set for life. You can just do one song after another. It's super fun. You end up with a book full of things. But listen, if you are not a singer, take that book of lyrics and chords and put it in the trash can. I promise what you're learning here is way better for you. You're going to learn a lot more by taking this and treating this as an instrumental activity rather than a back up to your singing activity. And the nice part of it is that we got a whole bunch of I guess it's on this side for you guys, a whole bunch of people over here who have been involved in instrumental ukulele for a while, and I think every last one of them would tell you that this is the way to play that's going to make things more interesting, that every single song that comes by, it's no longer how few chords can I play, but it's now about what sort of problems are in this song, what fascinating things are going to happen, and where do I move my fingers, what am I going to do with my right hand that's different from this song, from the last song. So it's a little more technical. It's a lot harder to play this way, and it's, I think, frankly, a really nice challenge. It's going to be at least 5 years before you get sick of playing this way, and by then you're going to be writing music, and you're going to be, playing at Red Rocks and all this stuff, and making a mint, just like I do. You're going to have so much money rolling, and you won't know what to do with. By the way, there's no money in ukulele, none. So just in case you're thinking about turning it into a career, you probably don't want to do that. I think you'll notice as you look at all of the ukulele festivals that go on, it's basically the same 10 or 20 musicians that go all around to all of them, and I think they're working real hard to make a living at it, and good for them. I hope they're succeeding, but it's not. This is for you, your soul. Deep down in your guts, this is the right thing, and this is what we do this for. Okay, all right. Let's say hi to the last few people, and then let's see if we can get started on some stuff. Bonnie and I know Salida is showing up big time. Way to go, Salida. Let's see who else is showing. Oh, Tanya, sorry to be late. Come on, Tanya. Tanya's our North Carolina faction, and so we got to make sure she shows up every day. We got to straighten up North Carolina. And Yeah, and by the way, if you haven't joined the site, if you're logging in new, two things. One, jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where you need to go to get all of the paperwork and that sort of stuff. Know that we're running through, for the newer members, we're running through basically my introduction to ukulele course. And then once we get to the end of it, we'll turn around and start back up and go down that thing again. So the newer member stuff is basically going to stay the same. And if you're brand new to reading tablature, go check out the Frere Jacques, go to the ukulele page on Jolly Roger Ukulele, and everything is in order of how you should study and practice it and play it. And I'm busy trying to hook up the lesson videos to the actual sheet music. So I never get anything done on this stuff, but I'm working toward that process. And while you're on jollyrogerukulele.com, go ahead and give me your email address. They always say, we're not going to sell your email address. I wouldn't know where to sell this stuff anyway. So you can trust me with your email address. And at some point, if you decide, I don't like that guy, you just click on subscribe and that's the end of it. By the way, if you don't participate particularly a great deal, I take you out of the database anyway, because you're just clogging up my, I think I am limited to 2,500 email addresses or something like that. I don't know, one of those numbers. And I don't want to ever get close to that. So if somebody who's been in the database a while and isn't clicking on links, I just delete them. So if you don't participate, you get deleted. That's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. All right. So end of the learning week, we're going to do key of G arpeggio. And if you haven't been here for the sales pitch, on the teacher page on Jolly Roger Ukulele is the entire Jumping Flea arpeggio book. I will tell you, and I mean this from the most humble, non-egocentric person inside of me. He's very small. I'm much larger than that person, but that's a good book. It's free. You should download it. You should study it. You should use it as your warm-up every single day. I was playing with one of my students that lives up in Washington online today, and he is killing it. He's up in some weird key. I don't even remember what we played today, but a young man, not even 10 yet, I don't think, is just blowing it away. And it's because he's been studying that. That book's going to make you a good player, and it's going to take you out of the mindset of singing a song and get you into the mindset of playing instrumentally. That's it. So we're working on key of G today. And throughout that book, make sure when you grab that book that on the back page of it, it says suggested learning sequence. You want to do that sequence because it starts from a little bit easier to ridiculously hard. And the book isn't set up that way. Someday I'm going to do a second edition of that and put it in proper order. but until now, you have to read the first page, read the last page, and then go do stuff. All right, let's talk about ukulele. Let's get going on this. The chords you're going to need for this song, you're going to need a G chord, index, middle, ring. Teachers, make sure that they are doing it this way. Okay, there is no other acceptable solution for G chord. About 30% of my students want to do it upside down. You have to stop them. You got to get this fixed. If they don't do this one right, everything else is going to fall apart down the road. So that's important. Make sure your thumb is not sticking up here. I was watching videos today. One of the little girls that I have on my you subscribe to these things, and one of this cute little girl who teaches guitar, her thumb is crazy, and not only that, but she's double jointed, so it sticks out all crazy. It just makes me mental. Okay, you shouldn't never see your thumb. Should never see your thumb. And if your thumb hangs out right behind wherever your middle finger is, that's where your thumb should be. If it goes up and down, that's where they go. Next chord in here, E minor, index finger on the bottom, middle finger, and ring finger. Okay, E minor is beautiful. On some of the chord charts, they'll actually show you this one where you've got a ring finger up here and a pinky finger up there. That's perfectly acceptable too. It's just way, way harder. And what they're really showing you there is that you're doing a bar chord on 2 of your D minor shape. Okay, on 1, sorry, that becomes an E minor. Okay, but truthfully, all of us on ukulele play this because it leaves this first string open, which sounds awesome. Okay, next chord, C chord. Make sure you're using your ring finger. Okay, I get lots of students do this. That's grounds for firing in the ukulele community. This is how you want to do it. Next chord is a D chord. 2nd fret, index, middle, ring. This is how you know if you have the right size ukulele. If that's really, really tight and really, really hard to do, then you need to go buy a bigger ukulele. Probably, if you're a grown adult, you probably should be playing a tenor. I have a soprano in my hand right now, and you can see how tight it is for me to squeeze all that in there. So again, be thinking about, I bought a ukulele. I didn't talk to Gary before I did it, and it's not the right thing. Just say, you know what? I'll just sell it on Craigslist, and I'll go get the right one. The right one for most of you is to get a tenor ukulele. What else we got going on in here? All right, let's go to measure 13. I know you've already looked at it and you're like, oh, I'm going to quit ukulele. Measure 13 has a C chord. Okay. When you start, you like this C chord, you'd like this to be the only C chord. If you could pass a law, this would be the only C chord, but this is also a C chord. Okay. The way that the paper says it is full bar on 3, middle finger, ring finger. Okay. That's how I'd like for you to do it. That's going to be the best way for you to do it, because we have other bar chords that are going to go be friends with this type of bar chord, and they're going to require you to have a full bar there. Okay. Now, you're a ukulele player. Good chance that you've already encountered B flat like this. You can absolutely play C with just a half bar and then middle and ring. Both of those are completely acceptable. This is what you want to do. This is what you're probably going to do. It's probably what I'm going to do. Okay. But this is better because down the road, we got to do this bar chord. We have to do this bar chord. We have to do that bar chord. We have, this one. I don't do this one very often. That's a fun one. But you're going to do bar chords. And if you have a full bar, then you just blank and make whatever chord after that you need to. But it's perfectly acceptable to play a half bar. And that's measure 13. Measure 14, slide up there. Okay. That's another D chord for you. And just those of you who are newer to music, this makes you mad. Like, what's wrong with that C chord? I'll just use this one. But as you get more involved in instrumental play, you're going to want more than just one type of chord. And so that C chord and that D chord, it turns out, are actually very, very usable and you're happy to find them. Okay. So just being aware, all you're doing is that B flat shape, but it's on 3 or 5. Okay. So when we get there, we'll just slide up. That's it for page 1. Notice at the bottom of page 1, there's a repeat. Couple of practice techniques for newer players who are coming into sheet music and you are like working at your house and you're thinking, yeah, I know there's a repeat, I'm going to skip it. It's probably the wrong way to approach it. What you really want to do at home in practice, pay attention to the repeats, do the repeats, make sure that you know how to read them all, where they are. Make sure when you're practicing at home, any sort of weird markings on the paper, that you're actually trying to work on those and follow them. Then when you go to lesson, your teacher's probably not going to have you do the repeats. And sometimes when you do a performance for Gary, you call me and you say, hey, I want to do a performance, and we get together. You probably, maybe we do the repeats, maybe we don't. But it's a good idea as a practice thing to do those repeats when you're sitting at the house doing them, because you want to get where you are knowledgeable about every single thing on a piece of sheet music when you're working on it. All right, page 2. Top of that is all a melody line. Notice you're going to go clear up to fret 10. So you want to take a minute to find fret 10. And then if you go down 10, 9, 8, 7, your index finger ends up on 7. So when you're playing 10s, you're probably going to be in 7th position. Okay, that's what you'll be thinking about. And then what else to talk about? The chords at the end of the song are all pretty straightforward. There is a D7 at the chord right before the end, D7, index and middle right there. That's how you make that last D7. And the only other interesting piece of information on the page is at measure 31, I have those little wiggles next to the chord. So all of the chords you're going to pluck that don't have wiggles, you're going to pluck. And we do that because I'm trying to teach you how to pluck, right? I'm wanting you to practice that. At measure 31, now we're going to switch to the down strum, okay? And those are just big, beautiful down strums with your thumb. That's what's going on there. Notice that's all we're going to do through measure 38. And then at measure 39, you're going to go from this strum back to plucking, Okay, and that's what that's your plan. Okay, one of the things we want to do as instrumental musicians is sometimes we're going to play this way, and sometimes we're going to play this way, and sometimes we're going to mix those up in the same song. And so you want to get where you're comfortable moving back and forth between the two. Okay, all right, let's give it a try. Again, if you're brand new today or brand new in the next couple of days, we've already spent the last couple of weeks learning how to read tablature, so this might feel a little bit foreign to you. If it does, which is normal, perfectly fine, you're going to play the chords, okay? So you can just give me 1, G, 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 E minor, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you can just strum the chords if you are not ready to read the tablature. Obviously, my goal as an instrumental teacher is to get you reading tablature and to get you to strum chords less, because I just think that that's where the big fame and fortune that you'll get in ukulele is not from strumming but from plucking. And so let's do that. Let's see. I think that's about all we need to talk about. Let me make sure there's any weird questions coming up. Where is that book? It's on jollyrogerukulele.com on the teacher tab. Okay, so go to you're allowed to click on teacher tabs. By the way, all of you probably sitting here, if you've been here all week, the last few weeks, you're probably pretty committed to this instrument. You're probably pretty committed to playing this way. You're going to probably end up teaching somebody, so it's not a bad idea for you to just get a hold of all this stuff, start putting it together in some meaningful fashion. You know a whole lot more about playing ukulele than most people will know, and so it's a good idea to have all of the resources, get your book put together, keep that in some sort of rational fashion. Let's see, what else? North Carolina is absolutely beautiful today. Nothing wrong with it at all. Yay! North Carolina is killing it today. Lanning, welcome. How are you? Let's see, need those higher chords for higher melody notes, but that doesn't mean I have to like them. Yeah, so Joyce's point is exactly right. We like this C chord. We wish we didn't need that chord, but we do, okay? And you're also going to need those, the melody's going to run up your fretboard a lot on this instrument. We have a very small space to put the melody notes, so the melody's going to run up here a lot, and you're going to have to do the more interesting chords up there. So Joyce is exactly right. All right. Get your game face on, okay? Thumb in the right position, ukulele at 60 degrees, right hand in a nice, peaceful, straightforward fashion, no tension on my neck or my back. You are probably staring at your laptop, right? Hopefully you've got the sheet music in front of you somewhere, and we're going to give this a try. We're going to play the first page, then we're going to stop, we're going to congratulate ourselves, then we're going to do the first page again, and then we'll go on to the second page, okay? So first page, in the key of C arpeggio, you are using the lower 3 strings. This one is asking you to upper 3 strings, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pluck, 0, 2, 3. Pluck, 3, 2, 4, 0. Pluck, 0, 0, 0. Pluck, middle, index, thumb. Pluck, thumb, index, middle. Pluck, middle, index, thumb. Pluck, oh, 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 pluck, 2, 2. Change your strings. Pluck, pluck, add your pinky. Pluck, pluck, pluck. Get that crazy chord on. Slide up. Take a moment. Right there at the end of that measure, it's double bar, 2 dots that says go backward. There is no forward repeat, so you go all the way back to the top. Take a deep breath. Hopefully you did well. Okay, let's do it one more time. Same exact speed, same exact process. You now know what's inside the piece. Let's give it a try. This is the second time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Places to I gotta make one person go away here. Hold on one sec. Sorry, guys. With this YouTube deal, we end up having to make things not be. We get a lot of. Let's make him go away. All right, so he's gone. One of the things that I think about that piece is it's another one of those that if you play it fairly slow, it's going to sound beautiful. It really is a pretty well done melody line. Everything is sort of pleasantly tossed together, or the chords work really well together. Those are chords that our brain is willing to accept. A pretty challenging motion on this piece, but all of those skill sets in that entire first page are coming up in your life, and so there's no reason not to study this one a little bit. I like to tell people when you sit down to do your ukulele practice, you want to plan about a 20-minute period. You want to start off with one of these arpeggios, get your hands warmed up, and then move on. You're not trying to become great at playing arpeggios until you're an advanced student. At that point, then it's a different discussion, but when you're brand new, you're just trying to warm your fingers up, and this gives you all of these important chord shapes that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And so you might as well, it's a perfect warm-up. Then you go on to the serious songs that you're studying, and then you wrap up with something nice and pleasant that you just like to play, maybe a Wagon Wheel or Riptide. Okay, all right, let's go on to page 2. Hopefully that's going well for you. If that felt really fast, slow the whole thing down. There's no rule that you have to play as fast as me. I've been playing that song for a long time now, but you can play it much, much slower. You want to play slow enough where you basically can play through the whole thing at a steady pace, and then once you can do that, then you start speeding it up. If you were playing through it at that pace pretty well, but you had a couple of crashes, like maybe when you went to the C chord or or getting an E minor on. I'm always freaked out about that. That was my chord that I had problems with. Then you just work on those little places where you wiped out. The other thing, and probably important, since we got a lot of people that I don't know, the most important skill that you can develop as a musician, I think, is when you mess up, getting back in. I used to think I taught ukulele. What I really teach is error recovery, and what that is about is you're going to make mistakes, and our natural inclination, our brain is, I made a mistake, I need to stop and go back and fix it. That's absolutely the wrong way to think in life, probably, and certainly in music. You want to have that error not exist in your brain. Oh, I messed up. I've got to move on. And that's what playing with other people does for you. That's why we get together, is so that we can, screwed up, whatever, keep moving forward. And that's why newer players, you really do need to hang out with better players. You do need to be, and better players, you need to be spending time with players that aren't as good as you, so that you can be helping them learn the same stuff you already know. So I would say getting together and getting out of just the basement plan for your cat, it has some real benefit. Okay. Measure 23, we're going to play some melody now, and we are going to, when you're playing melody, you got to think ahead a little bit, right? So the first, I noticed I got no ones at all, so maybe playing in first position, which is index, middle, ring, and pinky, maybe that's not the best way to attack this piece. My first thought is, my first two notes are on two, which magically puts my pinky finger on five, so I'm probably going to play that first measure in second position. That way I have less motion going on. Then, as I talked about before, at measure 25, you're going to slide up to seventh position. That puts your pinky, seventh position. That puts your pinky on 10. And then you go 10, 10, 9, 7. And then we got to slide down to 5 and back up to 7. That's going to be a little bit of a danger zone there. Okay, and then after that I got some threes and twos, which I'll probably drop into first position because 3 and 2 I feel real comfy with, and then I'll use my pinky to grab the 5 that's hanging out there. But so prior to playing a melody, a lot of times you want to strategize about which position I'm going to play that melody in. All right, let's go from measure 23. Let's just play 23 through 30, see how our melody playing is going. Those of you who are brand new to tablature, this is your goal. Just playing straight melody. It sounds beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 5, 5, oh, oh. 10, 10, 9, 7, 5, 7, 2. 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 2. Oh, oh, 2, 3, 5, 2. That's a cute little melody, by the way. Somebody ought to write some words to that. No, you got words to write on the other song today. All right, let's do that one more time. Let's just play through that section just for fun. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 5, 5, oh, oh. 10, 10, 9, 7, 5, 7, 2. 3, 3, 2, 3, 5, 2. Oh, oh, 2, 3, 5, 2, 2. Doesn't that sound like 2? I'm going to get going on to the next idea. That's an F sharp inside of a G song. It creates that tension to get us on to the next thing. That's drama right there. Dom, blum, blum, and then we're going to play on. Okay? All right, so that's the melody section. The double bar there doesn't indicate that you need to do anything in particular. At the beginning of measure 31, you'll see the double bar there. That's just letting you know as a player, hey, I got a new idea coming up here, new section, new thing. You can go ahead and lose all of your smart ideas from the last section because we got a whole new bit of thought process that we got to do. So that's what the double bar is for there. Okay, now let's go from 31. Again, instead of pulling and plucking with your claw, now we're going to do some thumb play. Okay, just thumb down, dun, dun, and so on. You can do thumb in, pluck, 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 which is a good skill to work on. Okay, you can also, because I know how I wrote this, thumb, 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 thumb. Okay, so you can also just play with your thumb. Most everything I write, I think almost everything I write, can be played just simply with your thumb, but that's not always the best solution. We really do want to think about, hey, would it make more sense to go into a claw shape, and will that make me faster and more accurate and more reliable? And a lot of times the answer is yes. Okay, all right, measure 31, get your E minor chord on. Let's give this section a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start over, okay? Do this. All right, let's start from measure 31. 1, 2, 3, 4. let this ring out. Don't take off your cord until the ukulele's done talking. I blew two things. I blew, right? The first thing I started off, got my fingers all out of whack, and I was not able to recover. So I made us stop and start over. That's not ideal, right? I should have been able to recover. Don't be a Gary, be you. Okay. Second thing, when I got down at the end of measure 38, I was going to just strum those last chords out. And then I'm like, nope, this was a etude. I'm supposed to play it correctly. And so I ended up being late as I was switching that around. You'll find going from strumming to plucking is a skill that you have to work on specifically. And I think it's a good skill to know. Okay. Let's see if we can see if Gary can play that section a little better. Measure 31. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that was a little better, right? Hopefully you're doing a little better. Hopefully you're killing it compared to me. Struggling it. All right. Again, key of G we're sort of done for that for the week, and next week we'll be diving into some new stuff. If you are a newer player, all of this stuff, there's nothing on the newer member stuff that's not important. So for Jacques is important, Three Blind Mice is important, these etudes are important. As a player that's thinking, you know what, I'd like to play this and not sing, all of this stuff's going to come up. And so it is helpful, hopefully, to you. Again, the entire book is on the teacher tab of jollyrogerukulele.com, along with another link to all of the sound files for all those. So you go listen to the sound files 200 times, and then go while you're reading the sheet music, and then you go in and try playing it. In Suzuki method, they don't even give you book number 1. You have to play everything by ear. And so that's something that we need to, as ukulele players, as well, as we need to spend a little bit of time training our ear to get better at listening, so that when we actually approach a song, we know how it's supposed to go, and then we can gauge ourselves against what's in our noggin. And also, you want to be mindful that if you've listened to one version of a song and then you go get a different piece of paper that's not the same version, you don't want to play what's in your head. You want to play what's on the paper. And that's why my arpeggio book that's sitting over there is an important tool for you. Is the sound files are created by the sheet music, so it's exactly what you're supposed to play. And I tried to, when I did the original sound files, I really tried to spend a lot of time with the software to get it to be as close to the real deal as possible. And so go use that as a resource. Again, I think the etudes, you don't need to get great at playing these. You need to get great at the skills inside of these. And so spend a little bit of time just working on that and getting where you can play that kind of stuff. Okay. Helps warm you up, helps get your fingers flowing, gets both hands going pretty well. All right, let's see. Couple thoughts here. Bob just logged in. Bob, welcome. Cindy, have I said hi to Cindy already? John just logging in. And Aaron's mom from Aaron's mom from Texas. Aaron is this amazing guitar player that I know, and he's talked his mom into taking ukulele lessons on this, which is so exciting. I love that. All right. By the way, Mom, your son is playing blues guitar. I don't know if you need to, what went wrong with your parenting, but you need to have a talk with him. All right. Before we move on to Girl from Ipanema, couple of thoughts about tomorrow. We got a huge group of people here today. Tomorrow is concert day. Okay, tomorrow, we haven't done this yet, and it's because I'm not smart enough to have thought about the idea. But tomorrow, we're going to play all of the songs from the week. Okay, and so that means, where's my Girl from Ipanema? That means we're going to try to play all 10 songs that we worked on this week in 1 hour. Okay, and that means you got to show up with your game face on, right? We're going to have the ultimate concert. Here's how the concert's going to go. I'm going to be playing and you're going to be playing, and we're going to be playing fabulous duets, and sometimes we're going to be playing identical, the same stuff, and sometimes you're going to be playing chords and I'll be playing melody, and sometimes you'll be playing melody and I'll be playing chords, and sometimes we'll be blowing it, and sometimes we'll sound amazing, and some of the songs will be easy and just killing it, and some songs will be absolutely like, yeah, I'm going to just listen to Gary play it, right? Whatever is going to happen tomorrow, we're going to try to get through all 10 songs in one session, and we usually meet for about an hour, guys, so that means I got about 6 minutes per song, and so that means that I have to shut up and we have to play, okay? So tonight, you want to get all I've got them in order, kind of hardest or easiest stuff on top, and a little bit harder as it goes along, and then we're going to wrap up with Smile, okay? And so that it's really sad, right? Perfect for our situation. And so tonight, get your stuff, get your game face on, go through, double check any of those things that you want to work on. And what we really want when we're playing as just a playlist is to really be thinking about, if I was giving this in concert, and when we talk about concerts, sometimes the concert's in your living room, that's you and your family, and they're sitting around going, God, I don't know why we have to listen to this. Sometimes that's at the coffee shop. Sometimes that's at Red Rocks up here in front of 10,000 people. If you're Garth Brooks, it's in front of 70,000 people over here in Mile High Stadium. You want to be Garth Brooks, okay? You want to picture 70,000 people out there. It might be just you and your cat at your house, but tomorrow you're going to see how you stack up, okay? And we want to so take time tonight to look through all that music. I'm going to do that because I mess up a lot. And let's get all 10 of those pieces ready to go. They're all on the website. They're all sitting there. We're going to play one after the other, and I'll be doing a whole lot less talking, hopefully. And you'll probably get sick of me talking anyway. I'm sick of me talking. Let's see. Welcome, Alan. Glad you're in. All right. Now, Girl from Ipanema. Let's talk about it. Prior to 2 years ago, this was a great song. Okay. It probably never was a great song, but we didn't know it until a couple years ago when we started figuring out that this whole thought process behind this song is pretty ridiculous. And it's probably men that thought it was great, and women probably always knew it was ridiculous. I don't know. Anyway, it's about a guy gawking a girl on the beach, right? And he thinks she should be in love with her, and she's not. And so please, those of you who are creative souls, take this melody and turn it into change the words to something that's worth working on. Okay, let's call it, I don't know, Buffalo from Ipanema. I don't know, change it to something, whatever. But so the words are kind of annoying. Erin, a friend of mine here in town who is a librarian, she's probably hiding out listening, sent me the original Portuguese along with the literal translation and then the English words that we sing. And the literal translation is a little bit less obnoxious than the English words we sing, but it's still the basic same thought as we're looking at this girl walking down the beach, and we're sad because she's so beautiful, right? And so yeah, whatever. Dumb it's, you know, that's all right. It's what people, I don't know. You guys have to decide how you feel about the words of this. What you don't have to decide on is this melody is amazing. This is a great piece of music to work on. And so what I want to do, run through some of this. And again, those of you who are newer, this is next level stuff. This is jazz. This is hard stuff. And guys, it really doesn't get too much harder than this. Some of the songs will get faster, but this is pretty challenging. Okay, let's run through, talk about some of the chords and what's important about them. We'll run through. We probably won't play just a straight line melody, but you can at home, and you should, because it's actually really fun to play. Dora says, "Hey, I'm Brazilian." By the way, all right, quick. 3 years ago, I think I had a girl take my intro class. Girl, she was probably 25 or 30, and she was from Brazil. And she was hilarious. And I said, oh, Girl from Ipanema is not in my intro class. It's too hard. And so we were playing. So she didn't know any at all, any of the songs that she had to learn for the class. And I was joking with her. I says, well, do you guys have any music in Brazil? And she said, Girl from Ipanema, that's it. And so it turns out that she was, I don't remember her exact job, but she was in charge, more or less, of social networking for Twitter, which is weird because Twitter is a social networking platform. But she's very funny, very bright person, and she was able to play everything, even though she had not grown up with any of these songs. And so, so I'm a big fan of Brazilians, right? I've never been to South America. I got to go one of these days. I've been down to Mexico twice, I think, but never gotten as far as South America. So we're going to go via ukulele. All right. Now, C major 7, okay, right there. Beautiful. In my mind, major 7ths are jazz. That is exactly what the kind of beautiful stuff that you want to be able to do. The next one, that open D7. Okay, that's just your regular open D7. Measure 5, notice you've got another D minor F chord, add your ring finger, and then to make it a D minor 7th, you add your pinky. Okay, beautiful. Okay, again, very, very jazzy feeling to it. Notice at measure 5, the last 3 notes are a triplet, quarter note triplets. So you've got passas each is the 3 notes that we're going to be speeding those up. Triplets are a little faster than you would think. So when she passes, she, okay, or when she passes each is the exact phrase. And you're going to go quickly, a little bit more quickly through those quarter notes than you would play. You're squishing 3 notes into the space of 2. And remember with triplets, the hard part is, remember, you got to get to the note after the triplet in order to keep your timing right. When she passes each 1. Okay, so you got to get to 1 before you get back to normal counting. And in measure 6, you also have another triplet, right? So it's when she passes each 1, she passes, goes on. Okay, so those triplets, you want to play those faster. Dora is saying, hey, you know, this song, she probably agrees that it's a dumb song, but it's a great song because it's got that bossa nova rhythm. And when you are a newer player, rhythms can be just brutal, right? And so you kind of ignore them in the beginning, but as you become a more experienced player, you want to try to get that fancy rhythm that is South American music is known for all these cool rhythms, the samba and the tango and bossa nova and all these things that are very kind of different. You can't really count them necessarily. The academics will tell you can, but they're really hard to. You got to kind of feel it in your soul as you're playing a song with those South American beats in them. And so that's why we're taking a moment just to talk about triplets. Is if you treat those well, it's going to get you a nice feeling of the song, and you're going to be able to keep that cool rhythm going on. All right, measure 6, you've got a D flat 7, okay? This is your regular D7. D flat is just slide it back, okay? There to there, okay? D flat 7, easy enough. Go back to C minor. Hard one to notice, D flat 9, measure 8. That's a D flat 7, but we're going to add our ring finger up there, okay? So D flat 7, D flat 7, 9, okay? And this shape, something on the first string and something next fret up on the third string, that's going to get you ninths all the way up the fretboard. You're going to see that come up again and again in jazz, this ninth sound. In jazz, they're very fascinated by sevenths, ninths, 11ths, not so much 11ths, 13ths. And so those extra, when you see a chord and you see a bunch of junk after it, that's usually a jazz chord. They're putting some extra notes in there to make it sound fancy. It does work. It sounds absolutely cool. And so this ninth shape is going to come up quite a bit in jazz. Let's see, what other chords do we have? That's everything for page 1. Okay, let's go on to page 2. Yeah, Kathy, exactly. That's what's challenging about it. All right. Now, everything is basically the same until you get to measure 19. You've got a tough little ninth chord there as well. Index, middle. Skip this string, keep it open, and play that. By the way, listen to it. That sounds amazing. Okay. Perfect chord for the ukulele. Then at measure 21, you got to go up to the 4th fret. Notice when you look at these chord charts, you see real small next to them, 4 FR. That means 4th fret. Okay, so don't play it here. What it kind of looks like on the paper. You got to make sure that you're obeying the 4th fret. Okay. Then measure 23, you got an A ninth, which is before we were doing this shape, now we're going to do this shape. It's an A7. It's an A7 with this B note in it. Okay, turns it into an A7 ninth. A7 add 9, I guess, but I wrote A ninth. And then what else we got? Measure 27, you have that B flat with these two guys on it. Okay, 2 and 3. Sounds super cool. Measure 29, you got to go clear up to the 7th fret. Dum, da, 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 dum. Okay, and you got a lot of triplets floating around on that whole line down there, so just know we're going to be going a little bit faster through those sections. And then measure 29, you've got, I can't see a thing, I got this horrible glare on here. Measure, where are we at? We're at 29. So 29, you're on 7, and then 7 right there. And then notice at 30, you're just going to slide back 1. Okay, and you have that wow kind of feel to it, which is super cool. And then we go on to page 3. I think we already did a B flat 9. Do we have anything else that's going to be weird and crazy and make you sad? No, that's basically it. Okay, so lots of chord shapes that you should know. You don't really need to memorize all these chord shapes. When you get to a song like a jazz song, you're going to have to draw on your familiarity of patterns. And so this shape, whatever this is, I don't necessarily know the name of that. I don't have to know the name of that. I just need to know what the shape looks like and feels like. And then whatever, if that's what they're telling me to use, that's what I'm going to use. Okay. And, you know, if you're academically oriented and you're going to be teaching this to high level students, you don't have any of those ukulele students out there, by the way. We can talk about that this is a 9th chord and this is B flat, B, this would be a B flat, but we're going to move this down, make it a 9th. It's interesting to have a conversation about, to know the theory behind it, but to actually memorize the name, and you probably don't need to do that. Okay, it's not going to come up as much as you'd think. B9 on the 7th fret. Sure, why not? Okay. I don't know if John has explained his question exactly the way he means it, but yeah, John, do it. See what happens. All right. So those are your chords, okay? And again, as fingerstyle players, as instrumentalists, the chord is our foundation for everything that we do. The other foundation, of course, is playing the melody. And guys, you really just click play on the MP3 and play through the melody. It absolutely works. It's absolutely beautiful. Notice on the melody line, when you get to measure 7, when she passes, each one she passes goes ah. And you're, as a ukulele player, your job is you're just hanging out. Okay, that's why the chord players, of course, are going to be playing strum, 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 strum. They're going to be strumming through that section. You, as a melody player, are done for a second. Okay, and if you are a chord melody player, that means you get rid of all of your band because they're annoying, and you're going to just play. You have a lot more work to do. So chord players, we all play together and sing. Chord players also play with melody players to support them as drummers. Okay, melody players, sometimes your job is pretty easy, to be perfectly honest, once you get where you can read the tablature. And again, if you are academically oriented and you want to learn to read just the standard notation, that's great. You should know very few ukulele players, including advanced ukulele players, do a ton of reading on the standard notation line. You just don't have to. It's just not necessary. We don't play straight melody as a vocalist that often, but again, it's something that's worth learning, but you don't have to. Tablature replaces that. And then the tough uke line, once you can play the chords and the melody, you're going to be able to figure out your own tough uke line, but I think I do a pretty nice job of putting it together for you so you can be successful right off the bat if you're at a playing level where you can read that. So let's go ahead and play through the tough uke line. If you are not there yet, if you're like, that's not something I'm ready for, play the melody. And again, if you're brand new here and you're just learning how to read tablature, knock out some chords for us. These chords should keep you busy. Okay, and if none of that's working out so well, it is now almost 5:30 in the Mountain Standard Zone. You're probably getting ready to go have dinner, right? Okay, let's start and take our time. I'm going to play crazy slow, and so that hopefully you will play crazy slow, and together we will be mostly successful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry. Two, three, four. Three, four, 4, 6, 4. I should have talked about this chord here. Let's stop for just a moment. Measure 38. Ow, this is a really hard chord. 6 on the top. Okay. 8, 9, 10. 6, 8, 9, 10. I should have talked about this. Okay, here you go. And ready, play. Then drop to the 7. There's a repeat. So now we're going to go all the way back. Hopefully I'm going to do a better job playing it the second time around. Okay, let's go all the way back to the top. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Six, 8, 9, 10. Second ending. Ouch, that hurt my head. Did it hurt your head? There's a lot going on there. By the way, measure 38, you get to that ridiculous chord here, right? 6, 7, 8, 6, 8, 9, 10. It is, everything's right about it, except that it's really hard to play, and even on this ukulele, that's a pretty good ukulele. It doesn't sound like a lot. Just hit the 10. Okay, you can absolutely do that. When she passes, I smile. Okay, that's a G note. I smile. You can also drop it down to a 3 on the 2nd fret just to get it out of that ridiculous range. This is not sure that's a note we necessarily need in our lives, but that's the note that works best if things are going well, right? Otherwise, play a lower G note and you're fine. So that's a tough piece, and hopefully it's giving you a challenge. It's probably worth it. It's a nice world-class melody. Dumb word. Go change the words for me. I'll send out a little link to Aaron's more literal translation of how it goes. The literal translation is less sexist than the English translation, but it is still plenty embarrassing. Hopefully this got you guys thinking, got your juices flowing a little bit. Hopefully you're finding this useful. So you can chat here, you can subscribe here. We're going to shoot for 1,000 subscribers one of these days, and thumbs up or thumbs down on that would be helpful, I think. Where do they say it is? And tomorrow is concert day, so get all 10 pieces out, get yourself warmed up. About half an hour before we get together, you're at home warming up your fingers, getting through all of the songs, playing at whatever level you're at. You do not need to play tough uke on everything. You can play chords on some things. You can play melody on some things. You can sit and listen on all of the things. And just know that whatever way you're playing ukulele is great. And let's just see what we can do. I'll push you up one more level and get you going on that. Thank you guys for being here. We had a nice crowd today, and I want to keep everybody coming in and making sense. Send me an email if you have questions. I am always behind on emails. Those guys who know me know that I will eventually get around to them or not. And so thank you all for being here. Ed's already gone. Lorene, see you tomorrow. Have a great night. John, yeah, that's a little Kamaka guy sold to me years ago. It smelled like cigarettes when I bought it, and it sounded better. Joyce, wowzer, it is hard. Yeah, it's super hard, Renee. Keep at it. You guys can do it. The girl kick my butt. You saw, right? It's a tough song. Renee, have a great night. Bruce, thanks for being here. Your grandson is gonna call you up. He's gonna go do a fly me to the moon competition with you. Jane, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Kat, always love having you here. Yeah, we all have a lot of work to do, Kat. It never ends. Violet, see you soon. Kathy, thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day. Linda, lots of practice. Concert day tomorrow. Get on it. For tomorrow. Let's see what we can do tomorrow, right? John, have a great night. Jackie, so glad you were here. Have a great day. Leslie, good to see you again. Have a wonderful day. Annie, I snuck in on me. Have a great day. Mike, go take on the day. Bran, wonderful. Patty, thank you. Lanny, you're sitting in Hawaii, man. Life's got to be good, right? Bonnie, have a wonderful day. Hard, yeah, definitely hard. Have a wonderful day. Dwayne, keep it real. The real girl said she was just. All right. And Caitlin, adios, muchacha. Jerry, have a wonderful night. I'm going to end the stream, guys. If you want to come play denverguitarorchestra.com is the next place I'm headed off to. So come play music with us if you want. Have a great evening. I'm going to end the stream. Stay inside. Brutal out there.